It's finally here. Hero 31's origin story, in fact, is Sigma. Not quite the Talon tank we thought we were getting, but a pretty darn cool one nonetheless. We've only just started learning about his story, and it's pretty insane and intense. Now, in this video, we're going to go over the clues to what it seems like his kit is going to entail, because as you guys know, Blizzard always tries to interweave the character's personality, their origin, and really what they're all about into their playstyle on the battlefield. As it turns out, Sigma is a mix of a bunch of the things we thought he was going to be. Mad scientist for sure, researching into gravity and black holes. Then it seems to go all wrong. He somehow turns into being the subject, and the duality of his character gets emphasized in a few different ways. He talks about having freedom and imprisonment at the same time, and then we see Talon at the end, which makes me think, just like they did with Widowmaker brainwashing her during Sigma's research on black holes, I think they imprisoned him. But what I think is that it seems like they're indicating that he's tapping into the multiverse. You'll know about this if you've played any BioShock Infinite, but there are actually real scientists that believe that black holes might be a gateway to other universes. This is why I think he can feel himself being trapped in a hospital bed, basically comatose, while also drifting off into space, while also being a Talon soldier. And the only way that even feels possible to me is that he did in fact harness the power of a black hole, and it sort of warps him into different places at once. Now, I'm not sure that necessarily means he has teleport abilities on the battlefield. Instead, what I think is guaranteed is that he does duplicate himself. Multiple times that they show us Sigma splitting off into 3 distinct versions of himself, and we've seen this in other MOBA games as well. Creating mirror images of yourself is something that's useful on the battlefield, especially for a tank. If you can have point presence with a decoy version of yourself, well, it's sort of like having a Bob on point normally, right? It might invite the enemy to waste cooldowns on him in one location, but the real version of him is elsewhere. Also, more on the duality of his character, he's sort of slipping into some Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, where in one breath he's more of a optimistic scientist, afraid and concerned about what he's working on. Then the next sentence he's talking about violence and the universe is singing to him. Then it goes into dead white silence. So I think it might even be likely that he has these 2 different personalities on the battlefield as well. It seems like Sigma is in tune with all these things put together. I think he's a really cool character. Quite a dramatic and interesting story that I can't wait to play. Now, there's a few other things that I wanted to mention that seems to heavily imply other abilities he might have. Of course, he says he's harnessing gravity over and over, and when he's a scientist, it seems like he's maybe even accidentally levitating objects around him, but when he goes into his Talon armor, he's literally picking up rocks all around him, which means maybe he just throws a big boulder at you. And right at the end, we see 2 different versions of this little orb he's holding in his left hand. The first shot shows it glowing, looking a little bit more magical, almost like an atom or a planet. It seems to have an orbit around it, looking quite similar to like a Zarya Graviton Surge actually. And then it transitions to be a bit farther away, and it looks like he's holding 2 orbs, but now they're encased in sort of a metal structure. So not quite Zenyatta orbs, but what could that be? Is that his main primary attack? Or those like little gravity grenades that he throws? We'll have to wait and see. But I think it's safe to say that maybe he levitates himself or his enemy, perhaps even sending people into the void, which can be used as an offensive or even a defensive tool to save a teammate. There's abilities in Dota, for example, where a player can zap a teammate out of existence. This sounds really annoying, I know, but some of this stuff might just be. But imagine being able to save your Winston teammate when he overextends and like teleporting him back to the other side of the team fight or something. Or when your team's stuck in a grav, having them almost like Reaper's Wraith form out of existence for a moment to dodge the follow-up damage. These are the sort of things that I expect Sigma to be able to do, because without a doubt, it's definitely going to be some high science, high technology type stuff. We're really hyped for this hero. He's giving us Magneto vibes. Seems pretty darn awesome. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What abilities do you think he's going to have? And were you as blown away by this origin story as we were? We thought it was really good. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been Freedo for your Overwatch. See you guys next time.